Hello everyone, my name's Leah, and I'm a lifelong loser, and also the heroine of a fairy tale about a bad Christmas. Remember how Santa gave the bad kids coal instead of presents? So at Christmas, I got a little piece of coal. When I was a kid, my mom often read bedtime stories to me, and one of them was about a stolen Christmas. I loved that more than the others. I don't know why. My mom read to me about the bad Santa every day. He came to the naughty kids and left them coal instead of presents. This meant the kids behaved bad for a whole year, and they didn't deserve anything better. Mom always added, "You gotta be good, listen to your mom and dad, and be a wonderful girl." And then on Christmas Day, a miracle would happen. A good Santa will come and bring you wonderful gifts. If you also believe in Santa, like this video, and write in the comments at what time you realized the gifts are put under the tree by your parents. I believed in what Mom and Dad were always telling me. Why not? Because every year I always got wonderful boxes with wonderful gifts inside. I thought I was the best kid ever. I never had received a piece of coal, even when I pushed a neighbor boy right on Christmas Eve, and he bumped his head on the ice. Well, actually, everybody was just skating on the street, and that little boy was pushing the kids and didn't let them skate freely. And I just wanted a little justice out there. Be kinda an avenger or something. And apparently, Santa agreed with me. Like other kids who were thanking me when the bully's mom was taking the kid back home. Then, of course, I got older, and I stopped believing in Santa. Well, to be exact, I just guessed all the gifts were the work of my parents. But I really appreciated their creativity because Dad continued to prank me. He left some snow marks on the carpet, opened the window and the grate of the fireplace, as if someone had come to us at night. It was very nice indeed. My family is very good and understanding. I don't remember my family punishing me for something. Well, of course, my parents forbade me some things, but they always explained why. Usually it was all connected with security. So, I wasn't offended with that one. The only thing that bothered my parents a little, in a good way, was my blindfold syndrome. I kept asking different things, reading a lot, trying to learn something new. Fairy tale books on my bedside table were first replaced by encyclopedias, and then even by more serious books. Although sometimes strange ideas such as breeding a dragon or making a magic mirror still came to me, I grew up. And gradually there was no place left for fairy tales and miracles in my head, because at 14, I got a new love, chemistry. After the first lesson, I realized this is what I was looking for so long. In chemistry, I found the answers to all my whys. So all the fairy tales were gone, and totally replaced by textbooks and special reference books. No wonder I became the #1 student very soon. My parents only welcomed my endeavors. They bought me textbooks, even those that were not age appropriate, and allowed me to make a small corner in the room, only for my science experiments. Of course, I wasn't going to do anything serious at home. Global research needed something more than just a metal table and simple reagents. But still, part of the experiments could be done there. And I did it with great pleasure. We did cool projects together with the teacher, and I repeated some of the experiments at home. Everyone promised me a bright future, and at some point, I really believed the security rules were for losers. But later, this thing worked against me. That Christmas, as usual, I wrote a letter to Santa with my wish list. I decided this was the last time I was doing this. Otherwise, it was, uncomfortable for a 16-year-old girl to write letters to Santa. Well, I asked the old man for what I needed most. A set for a young chemist. Not the one where there was only a flask, but the limited edition 16+, where it was possible to get cool reagents for the experiments. Actually, it was a rather dangerous thing that required profound safety measures. But I believed I was immortal and a real smartass. That means everything that was written there about the hood, glow and reactions, wasn't for me. My parents didn't know such details about my wishes, and so I just wrote this letter. Who in the midst of sales will read the instructions? Anyway, I decided to get a kit, whatever it would cost me. I wanted the letter not to look suspicious, so I also asked for other girlish things for Christmas, like girls' hair clips and books on chemistry. So my parents had a choice what they could give me. So I wrote it, put it under the Christmas tree, and forgot about it. And my parents apparently decided that generosity strengthens the family and bought me everything on the list, as I thought, without even reading the contents. Most likely, Dad just went to the science store, gave them my wish list, and just paid for the boxes. So I diligently pretended not to notice how Dad was carrying gifts from the car, helping my mom prepare a festive dinner and decorate the Christmas tree. Then we all sat at the table in front of the fireplace, sang songs, and celebrated, as they usually do in good families. And in the morning, under the tree, my surprises were waiting for me. Unfortunately, I wasn't given the opportunity to fully enjoy the gifts. While I was sitting under a Christmas tree with all these boxes, my parents got a call from a nursing home, and I had to urgently get ready to visit my grandpa who was ill again. Don't get me wrong, we love Grandpa. But gosh, why getting ill exactly on Christmas morning? I left the gifts right where I opened them, on the windowsill. We have sort of a couch or a mini sofa there. I'm constantly there among the pillows, so it never occurred to me something was wrong. I wish it did. We congratulated Grandpa. I gave him my personal gift, a picture, me and my family. It's not that I draw well, but rather the opposite. It's just another small tradition in our family, to give Grandfather such a picture every Christmas. And then we went home to see the fire. When we were already getting close, we saw the fire engines and terrible smoke. Then we realized this was coming from our house. While we were away, for some reason, our house caught fire and was burned to the ground just before our return. From a good 2-story mansion with a bunch of furniture and some fancy things, only ashes were left. Can you imagine how shocked we were? On Christmas Day, we were without a roof over our heads in such an eerie way. My mom cried. My dad was just stunned and didn't know how to react. And I looked at the ashes where the firemen ran along, and I remembered the old Christmas tale. Apparently, this year we were all badass kids. Santa decided not to bother himself with the traditional coal and simply burned the whole house. So bad, yeah. And at 16, I got coal for kissing a boy, deceiving teachers, lying a little and thinking bad about Grandpa. What my parents did, it was hard for me to imagine. So, there was nothing special later. The insurance agency checked whether it was arson or not. Then they paid us the entire insurance amount for the accident. For a while, we lived in a hotel, while the builders were making us a new home. Mom was slowly recovering from the shock, and somehow she was even happy. She had long dreamed of making repairs and updating the furniture, so now she was rushing around the shops and buying all kinds of things for the house. Dad was engaged in the construction, paperwork, and his office work, so sometimes he didn't even have time to understand what was going on. Therefore, I was the one to get the letter from the police with the investigation results. And honestly, I was very happy about this, because what I learned from there was, a little shocking. It turned out the house was burned down because of me. Remember, I've already said that I left a box with the gifts on the windowsill? Santa probably got an awesome sense of humor, because this damned box caused the fire. If you already have chemistry classes, you know that some reagents require special storage conditions. If not, I tell you, never shake reagent boxes. Never. Because my young chemist set turned out to be defective. Apparently, the delivery didn't bother too much, though the box contained danger stickers everywhere on its surface. Maybe in the car, maybe everyone in the warehouse was shocked. I don't know. And then I turned as examined, and nothing would have happened if I unpacked all the reagents and sent them to the laboratory right away. Well, maybe something would just boil over a little and that's it. But the box with mixed reagents was on the windowsill, surrounded by the books. And then, there was just a typical chemical reaction. There was a bright sun ray shining through the window. One reagent exploded, then a second, then another. They all mixed up and started some kind of another reaction, obviously combustible. And here are the books. The pages lit up, the box itself lit up, and so did the Christmas boxes. Then plastic fabrics, the house itself as it wasn't too new, the roof, everything flashed like a match and burned down to the very ashes in a little faster than 15 minutes. Can you imagine? The whole house, and in 15 minutes. A record, damn it. Technically what happened was a rail accident, and we all got very lucky at the time of the fire as none of us were home, because there would simply be no chance of escaping. But if you think about it a little, if I hadn't ordered this kit, nothing would ever have happened. If I immediately put everything in place, nothing would have happened. Anyway, it seems to me that these are still my personal embers for my bad behavior and ill-conceived actions. So, before thinking I got involved with chemistry at home, in order to be a great scientist, it's not at all necessary to start a laboratory in the bedroom and set the house on fire. So, now I'm okay with working at the school lab only under the strict supervision of the teacher. So far, everything is even better because there's always someone to ask for advice. Write in the comments if you also love science and believe in Santa. Share my story with others so that no one else will repeat it. And may you never see coal under your Christmas tree. Bye!